bringing news from NAB to the people. HDSLR Shooter, brought to you by Akidio, Adamus, Blackmagic Design, ICANN, JVC, Serb, Video Blocks, Carl Zeiss, and Xylite.
Hi, it's Clint with HDSLR Shooter. I'm here again at NAB 2015, and I'm here with Joel of Ultra Media. Now, Joel, one of the things that I think gets overlooked at the show with all of the different fancy cameras and fancy applications and everything like that are the nuts and bolts of production, which is putting the schedule together. Right. You guys have a solution. Talk about that.
We do. It's called Studio Suite, and it's what we call studio and production management software. So before you're actually out shooting, you've got to put together a budget. How much is it going to cost? What resources are you going to use? Where are they going to be? And then there's probably some approval process that goes back and forth. We need 2 cameras, not 3, and all that. So you go through that. Once everybody settles on the price, that turns into an actual, and we keep both of them kind of side by side. So when the actual happens and suddenly we need more things and things take longer, we know exactly where we went off the rails in terms of the budget. And those actual items are also what appear in the calendar. So as we drag stuff around in the calendar, that's going to increase the number of hours, the number of days automatically. And there's also, because we've defined everything with a rate that's both the charge and the expense, when we do that, we know how that's affecting our profit if we're billing that way. So as your time expands, your charge gets bigger, and so does your expense, and that affects your profit loss. So in the course of doing all of that, there's tasks as well, like review the script, set up the lights, all that kind of stuff. Studio Suite tracks those and notifies people on their mobile devices with texts. And the purpose of all this, of course, is to create content. So Studio Suite has within it a physical and digital media asset management component to be able to link all of those files and also deliver them. So at NAB this year we announced partnerships with Aspera and File Catalyst, and we're also announcing the ability to upload content directly from Studio Suite to Facebook and YouTube and Wistia, because those are kind of the new video distribution platforms. And to take it one level further, we're actually on a nightly basis monitoring play counts. So if I upload a video to a couple different providers, I can see which ones are doing best, all from within the scope of Studio Suite. And then, of course, the purpose of all this is to make money, so all of that information, the budget, the schedule, what actually happened, flows out to an invoice, and then from there it can be sent out to QuickBooks. So it's really kind of a 360 approach to the business management of production, where we're tracking charges, expenses, profit loss, media assets, equipment inventory, check-in, check-out, equipment maintenance, communications, the whole flow.
All of this information lives on the cloud. Obviously, are you guys doing the hosting on that, or?
It's actually not a cloud service. One of the great and rough things about our position is that all of our customers are so damn creative. They all want it to look different. They all want it to operate differently. They need different buttons. They need different reports, different screens, different invoice appearance. So it's actually installed on each customer's server, so they can get unique private data and make it look the way they want. Now we do offer what's called a private cloud, where all of their data is accessible through a browser that they have the keys to, and also on their mobile devices. So it's not a service, just due to the nature of the content that's within it.
So you control the privacy, you control the security.
Yeah, you control privacy, security, and the functionality. A lot of our customers don't need all of the functionality, so you can make that disappear. You can customize the templates, the printouts, the reports to look just the way you need. Our customer base ranges from small work-at-home students and hobbyists, work-at-home professionals, to branches of the government, huge corporations, and they all have different requirements in terms of reporting. So we need the application to be able to deliver that, and we can't do that on a fixed, rigid service. Take something like QuickBooks Online. That's great for that rigid process, but not for creative processes where everybody needs it to happen differently.
Let's take a look and see how some of this works.
Sure. This is the main menu of Studio Suite. Not all of the users need access to all of these modules, so on a per user basis you can specify what they have access to. I'm just going to jump into contacts real quick just to show it's a very full-featured CRM to be able to handle all the information about each client or vendor or staff member that you're working with, including your communications. But what differentiates from other contact management systems is that it's tied into the rest of Studio Suite. So for example, we can see and jump to all the projects everybody's been involved with. We can see all the financial information about client-specific rates or invoices or their aging. We can also jump and see all of the particular media assets, whether they're physical or digital media assets. So we also have people that are resources. So here are a list of all of our clients. I'm going to sort these by status, or I should say all of my employees. I'm going to do a quick search on employees. So here's all my people that are resources. These are my cameramen, gaffers, grips, makeup artists, editors. So we also have rooms that are resources. Here's my list. Within each room there are rates, hourly rates, daily rates, weekly rates, client-specific rates. And also within each room there are a number of pieces of equipment. So I'm going to go look into the equipment inventory at this particular camera. From here I can see barcodes, serial numbers, purchase dates, and also packages. So when I use this camera, I need the lens, the tripod, the battery, the mic, the light, all that stuff to come along. And equipment has rates as well, hourly, daily, weekly, client-specific rates. Studio Suite tracks the maintenance history for each of those. And there's also other things like services that you provide that's handled over here in categories and items, where I can see other things like catering and travel and so forth. That's all handled within. All of those resources can show up in my calendar here, which has got a bunch of different views. As I hover over it, I see more detail. The different colors are representing status, like on hold and confirmed and things like that. Once we book these things, I can show up, have them link into a Studio Suite project. I'm going to shift click on any one of these right now to get into, I have to use the actual shift button on the keyboard. Try this one more time. All right, we'll go this way. I'm going to jump into the projects module. And now I'm looking at all the details of a particular project. I see all the resources that were used, the dates, the times, the status, the rates, the time, the price, the total charge. And because we set up the rates with all of the expenses, it's tracking the expense and of course the profit loss that goes along with that. So it does the media assets. And by the way, all this stuff has two-way sync to Google Calendar and iCal and exports out to QuickBooks.
So Joel, the suite is awesome. Everything is there that you need. People are interested, they want to find out more. What do they do?
They go to studiosuite.com. We've got a 30-day trial there. By the way, this works on Mac, Windows, and mobile devices, and also in a browser. So it's cross-platform, and there's pricing there if you want to check that out. Or call us up if you have questions.
And what's that number?
800-450-5740.
Excellent. Thanks, Joel.
HDSLR Shooter, brought to you by Akitio, Adamus, Blackmagic Design, ICANN, JVC, Serb, Video Blocks, Carl Zeiss, and Xylite.